Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I'm happy you found us. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today, I have a question. What is your personal philosophy? Yeah, I know. We all have a personal philosophy, but what is yours? Does it guide you? And some of you out there who are saying, well, I don't know if I have a personal philosophy, but let me help you out a little. Your personal philosophy refers to a set of beliefs and values, principles, and even attitudes that might guide your actions, decisions, and maybe even your perspective in life. I wouldn't say maybe, but yes, your perspective in life. It encompasses a person's understanding of their own world or the world around them, their place in it, and their approach of how to live in a meaningful and fulfilling life. Personal philosophy is can actually touch a various aspects such as your ethics, purpose, your relationship, work, or even personal growth. And I could tell you right now, your personal philosophy definitely will help be that guiding light, so to speak, like your rock, like your core values. And I think that your personal philosophy should be looked at quite often. And our beliefs that are important to us really matters, such as your honesty, integrity in life, compassion, or respect. And those play a huge part in your personal philosophy, especially your integrity, your honesty, and your ethics, being ethical in everything that you do, being honest in everything that you do. And of course, that integrity, oh my goodness. People can see whether you have integrity or not just by the way you carry yourself. So, I think your personal philosophy also will have I think your core beliefs is a good word to really say what your personal philosophy would have. Convictions, acceptance in life, or I would say how you are with other people and what you believe, or even if you believe in a higher power than yourself. And I've often said that even if you don't believe in God, you have to believe in something bigger than yourself, because it's not always about you, but your life is. Okay, so there is a big difference here. And in having your personal philosophy, if you don't know what that is, it might be time to think about developing it. And you would have to actually sit down with yourself. That's right, nobody else, just you, and sit and think about what guides you. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? What are your truths? And how that might be able to shape your behavior, your decision making, such as treating others, how you want to be treated. I know that's a personal thing for me. I want to pretty much treat everyone how I would want to be treated. So that's a principle I have. And I didn't always have that principle. So those standards, those things in our lives, they will definitely change over time for us as well. And it gives us a sort of a sense of direction, whether you are working towards something, whether you're goal oriented or not. I think that your standards, your ethics is definitely something that will also guide and change you. So I think all these components are part of your personal philosophy. your rights, your wrongs, what you believe to be right or wrong, how that might also influence how you interact with others, making moral decisions. And I think that it's something that you have to sit down and decide, what is my personal philosophy? What do I really believe in? And do I have a mission statement? And I talked about that before. I think it's time for you to basically just sit down with yourself and think deeply about your life experiences, your values, and your beliefs. Your journaling can all be used as a tool to reflect on your thoughts, your feelings, and so on and so forth. Consider what makes you fulfilled or feel fulfilled in your life, right? What aligns with your sense of purpose, if you have one. Not everybody has a sense of purpose, and that's another thing. If you are walking around aimlessly, meaning that you are working job to job, or you are basically just living on autopilot, and I stated that before in one of my podcasts, sometimes that comes from not knowing what it is that you truly want to do in life. And sometimes you might have to open yourself up to new ideas. And how do you do that? You just look at stuff that you never looked at before, whether it's books, articles, essays, and start learning how to capture your own philosophy. What is your psyche, your psychology, and your own spirituality, or any of those things. Engage with diverse viewpoints is another way to find out what it is that I might like as a person, what it is that I want to see what other people believe in, and do I hold those same beliefs, or what do I believe in my core? So these are things that you can incorporate into your personal philosophy, because your personal philosophy is composed of so many different components in life. So you have to start listing your own values. You have to start listing not only your values, but what you deem is important to you. What are your priorities? These are things that you would only know. Nobody can actually fill those gaps for you. So I want you to really think about that. What is your personal philosophy? And this, well, if you can just sit down for maybe a couple of hours and, every now and then, because it's not going to happen in one setting. You have to really work on this and do some soul searching to figure out what guides you, what moves you, what excites you, what makes you feel sad, what brings you down. All these things you have to learn and know and document, because it will help you in the future, So you want to list your decisions, your bad decisions, your good decisions, things that you believe compelled your life forward in a good way, or even you might have experienced a bad experience or something like that. You would know what to stand clear of or steer clear of. So it also tells you, if I work on my personal philosophy to determine what it is and who I am, now you're also building your personal identity, and people will know, and they would see, and they would admire and say, dang, this person has made some definite changes in their life for good. I want to know what compelled them to do this. They're really making a heck of a transformation in their lives. So something must have happened along the way, but gradually over time, you start building, and you start building on your own philosophy, your beliefs, and your talents, and your goals, and all the new things that you start to learn to become a better person, right? So what is your philosophy? Do you have one? Do you have your mission statement? What's your goals in life? All these things I talk about on my podcast. Why? Because it's so important. It is so important that you have to constantly work on it. You have to reassess your personal philosophy. You have to gain new experiences, new insights. And believe me when I tell you, be open to change. Be open to growth, allowing your philosophy to be ever fluid, constantly changing, so to speak, right? And then when you implement your beliefs and value in your daily life, you'll be making decisions according to those beliefs and according to those values. And yes, your personal philosophy. Now, everything that we just mentioned is about you. It's about your growth. It's about your change. You have to put in the work. You have to be dedicated to continuously learn yourself. As you learn about others, you're going to also have personal growth toward yourself. You always have to be constantly learning something new. So, if you ask the question, what is my philosophy? And then once I develop my philosophy, would it ever change? Of course. It's forever fluid. It's your experiences. It's everything that you deal with in life. Of course it's going to be fluid. Of course your values will change. I could tell you right now, things that I cared about in my 20s and 30s no longer have weight in my life, no longer have importance. So yes, your values, your philosophy, your views in life, they will always change according to you. Now, if they're not changing, then you're just living, you're just existing. So you got to think about that. What will help or what would change your philosophy? Well, it'll be quite a bit. Whether you have significant events in your life, like marriage, parenthood, career changes, anything like that. And even like for myself, I lost my wife last year of 26 years. Losses can profoundly affect our perspective and our priorities. And challenges and adversities in life, they often lead to a deeper introspection, a deeper meaning for ourselves, and it shifts our values and beliefs. It has for me. So I know that this is definitely something that will always work in someone else's life. And it's those things that we're exposed to, the new information, ideas, or even concepts through education, whether you're reading something new you've never read before, even discussions that you have with people. They would basically change or be instrumental in your change for your world point views or anything of that nature, whether it's being around a different culture, and they all have different philosophies. Everybody has their own. And I think it gives you a broader idea and more of a nuance of understanding the world around you. So that's something to think about. Is it fluid? Yes, it's always changing because you're always changing. Yes. And if you're not, you should start to change. Always commit yourself to learning something new. Try to be better than you were yesterday, today. So as we mature, our values change. Our personal beliefs change. As we mature, our philosophy changes. So our world sort of deepens, especially when we start to think about our spiritual self. Our whole viewpoint can completely change our lives. It can completely change the course and direction of your life. Not only that, but how you handle yourself, how you carry yourself, how you carry yourself with other people's and the conversations you have. I'm going to tell you, all those things can change, especially through your spiritual journey in life. And I say spiritual journey because it's not about whether you believe in God or you believe in something else. It's about if you believe in something bigger than yourself, a goodness in life. So I'm not talking about all the bad things, because we know there is a ton of bad things all around us all the time, every day, every minute. But I'm telling you right now, there's goodness. If you focus on the goodness in life, you focus on your mindfulness, your reflection, and I mean self-reflection. All these things can lead to significant changes in beliefs and values in our own lives. So your relationship with friends, family, even mentors and colleagues can all be a part of your personal philosophy and changes because of the influences with those relationships. So this is a thing that you will have to work on. Take some time, because it takes time to learn who you are at your core, not on a surface level, not how you think people perceive you, but who you truly are. So I believe that all these things will make changes in our lives and in our personal philosophy. And our society I believe it plays a big picture in our personal philosophy. And I know you're probably saying, well, how in the world? But yes, look at everything that's happening today. The wars and there are so many different things, like even with AI, and people have different views and opinions and thoughts on all these things that are coming out, all these things, and how rapidly everything is changing. It seems like the year 2024 is a pivotal year for change in everybody, in everything, and even in our society. Think about that. This year is making major transformation in technology and the things that we're going to be doing for the future. All of it is changing rapidly right before our eyes. So society shifts, so do your political ideas and your ideology and landscape for what you believe in as far as your personal philosophy. All these things can impact your views and values. So yes, it's going to be a fluid thing. It's going to constantly change. That's why it's so important for you right now to write down everything and start to formulate your personal philosophy. Start to find out what really guides you in your own life. Don't let others guide you. Don't let circumstances guide you. Let your values, let your thoughts, your ethical behavior, and your personal values and your personal philosophy be at the core of your decisions. So that is my message today. Do you have a personal philosophy? And if so, do you need to tweak it? Do you need to change it? Do you need to take a look at it right now? When was the last time you have? So I want you to think about that, because think about this. And I don't know if this is a good analogy or not, but think about being overweight, right? And you want to lose a great deal of weight to become slim and more defined as far as your figure, whether you're a man or woman, it doesn't matter. So you got to start seeing, why is it so hard? Because you've been trying to lose weight for so long. I think you need to start from the inside. Start looking at your personal views. Start looking at whether you have a low self-esteem, or even ask someone that love and believe in you. Ask them if, do you think I have low self-esteem? And then start working on that. Why? Why is it that you might have low self-esteem? Why is it that you deem yourself as with this shortcoming that is preventing you from living out the life that you truly want to live, or building something in your own life that you want to build? What's stopping you? What's hindering your progress? I think all these things is our personal philosophy, and it holds ideas and values that we have inside of ourselves and how we view ourselves. So when you look in the mirror, it's not the outside core that you're looking at, but the inside, your soul, your heart, and everything that matters. Who are you inside, at your core, at your heart? You have to be willing to consider all these ideas and perspectives so that you can build your personal philosophy and so that you can lose the weight that you want to lose, because you have to figure out why do you want to lose the weight, because that why should be important enough to go ahead and catapult you to action, to losing the weight until it's done, until you reach the desired weight. I've always had a problem with weight, and I've lost a great deal of weight at one point. I've gained a great deal of weight back, and I've always said to the point where I'm never going to reach that 305 mark again. So no matter what, when I start, even if I go up to 290 pounds, I got to figure out why. And now I was able to keep those extra 30, 40 pounds off of me. But now it's time to say, you know what? I need to make another change. So that's why I talk about weight and used it as an analogy, because it's something I personally went through. It's something that I'm personally going through now. We have to look at ourselves. We have to look at ourselves on a more deeper and personal level. So we have to reassess our values, our goals, and our beliefs, and that will help us to make those decisions that we need to make. But more importantly, check this out. It'll not only help you to make the decisions that you need to make, it will help you to overcome the obstacles in your way that always prevented you from moving forward past a certain point. That's right. So I think that you have an idea. I think that I'm sharing an idea with you that will help you grow in a way that you've never grown before. You have to be willing to consider new ideas. You have to be willing to try out new things. And this is something that you have to do. Nobody can do it for you. I can go to the gym, but if I watch other people work out and build their own muscles, mine's are not going to build. I'm not going to lose the weight. I actually have to do it for myself. I actually have to put in the work. I have to go to the gym. I have to work out. I have to come back and start eating well. And I know that if I'm continuing to eat a ton of sugar, guess what? I'm working out in vain. So I have to change. And that's exactly what you would have to do if you're seeking to do something like build your personal philosophy. It'll help you make those changes. It'll help you grow. It'll help you to become all that you can be if you constantly build and learn in your own life. Hey, look, my name is Dave. You're listening to the last podcast where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Do me a favor, share this, like it, subscribe. I really enjoy talking with you. I enjoy that you're able to gain something from it. And I want to bring value that will help you build in your own life and help you start to think for your own selves how you can reconstruct your lives to live a better and more fulfilling and joyful life throughout your life with purpose. Hey, share this share this podcast. And I thank you so much for listening. Please come back and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye. Hi, you're listening to the last podcast.